One of my favorite coins of all time in the Morgan Dollar series is the first ever mint mark error. And it's a coin that over the last 5 or 6 years has gotten a lot of attention because there's a weak and a strong, and they don't grade the weaks. They refuse to certify them. Yet that's what the rest of the industry sells. We get inquiries all the time on it. So whenever we get enough to come out and chat, we will, because I love it and I hope you will as well. Let's take a peek. The coin is the 1882 O, which is New Orleans, over an S mint mark. Again, the important part is ours are certified by NGC as being real. I brought up the other topic because we need to discuss it. On the back, we're going to show you here in a second, the O over S. You can see the line going right through the O, which is the S mint mark. There's a very faint version of it, very weak, kind of like a straight line. And that's what is not acceptable and will not be certified by the grading services, yet people say it's the error. And they sell those coins for more money than we're selling the real stuff for certified. It's a big difference.
So how did this happen? Well, the New Orleans Mint is otherwise known as the hand-me-down mint. They got their dies from San Francisco, from Philadelphia, and what happened was they got this die in from San Francisco and they over-punched the S mint, the San Francisco mint mark die. So you'll see there's a clear O, but when we get the nitty-gritty and you get close, you're going to see the overstrike. There's an S mint mark underneath it. In a second here, we're going to show you a graphic which will show you a zoomed-in feature photo of that mint mark error. It's the first ever. It's the first ever error in the series. Now here is the image. The top right, that is the over S. You can see the curve of the S inside the O.
And it's very, very obvious, right? I was talking about a very thin line, which means like they kind of scrubbed. Well, again, the normal process is they take the die from San Francisco and they scrub it off. They take off completely the mint mark, which is the S, and then they counterstamp the O over it and put the die back into practice. That happens and has happened many, many, many times throughout the Morgan Dollar series. It's when they counterpunch over an existing mint mark that it's different. So a lot of people believe that line you're seeing is either a die break and or they grinded down the S, and when they were doing that, they created a little lip, and that looks like. But it's not actually an O mint mark, which is why they will not grade it or certify it. Significant. But again, it's the first time in the history of that we have a O mint or an S mint. We have them both, right? They did it one other time. It also involved New Orleans, which is kind of fun, which was in 1900. They put an O over a CC. So New Orleans was even using Carson City's dies at the end. So your comment on the hand-me-down mint is just, okay. Again, resources being reused, wonderful idea. But for us collectors, when you see some of the processes and how rare they are, that's the difference. So let's talk about rarity, shall we?
Well, since these are certified genuine by NGC, we're able to go to their census reports and get the number of how many they've slabbed, how many they've certified over the years. Now that number is actually very, very small. It's under 5,000. It's total 4,776, and that is it. That is the total number of coins that they have slabbed in this O over S genuine variety. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to shows and I've bought coins from people that right on there say they O over S, and I look and I say, okay, and they say, this is an O over S, I swear.
Well, I look at that the same way I look at the Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah.
They write they don't want to pay the extra $8 to have it certified as really authentic, yet they can sell it for $20 more. It usually means what? It's not.
It's not, and I send them in, and guess what? They get sent
come back
as rejected. So
we have one of the Morgan Dollar experts in the industry that believes the fine line should be a certifiable coin. The grading services disagree. And he brought us a group, say, hey, send this group in and see what happens. All of them came back saying fine lines are not all over S's. So the other side is this. You mentioned how few of these are known. There's less than 5,000 coins that are known. All grades 82 O over S. Think about that. Yet when you compare it to the 93S, the Holy Grail, the most limited Morgan of all time, they're almost on top of each other. We're looking at $3,700 on that one, and that's a $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 coin. Yet this one is just as rare. And it's affordable, yet the story's better. Mint marks are mint marks. Mintages are mintages, but sometimes the storyline is so much more fun. Oh, and by the way, they made 6 million Morgans in New Orleans in 1882. So it was a low year for mintage, which kind of tells us one thing, right? One die. That's it. One die was a counterpunch versus everything else was grinded off, or they didn't need them. And it usually happens late in the year, right? We have our dies for the year. We're doing our thing, slapping coins all year long, and in November, the die breaks. Do you want to make a new die, or do you want to punch one of the other dies to make it happen? Usually it's, let's do the easier process, counter, and in this case, just didn't grind it off first, which makes it the first time. It's one of those top 100 coins of all time, period. It's in all the books because everybody falls to it. It's the first time they ever did this. And it's affordable. So it's an affordable part of history. But as we've referenced many a times in the past, it doesn't always have to be a $10,000 coin to be rare. Right? I mean, there's many, many instances, and the Silver Eagle is an example of that, right? The lowest minted Silver Eagle ever used to be the 95W, 32,500. They replaced that with the S Enhanced Reverse Proof in 2019. Most of you probably remember that. And it was a crazy time, 30,000 coins. In collector grade, 6970, there's just under 10,000 of them that were certified by NGC alone, and those are $4,000 coins. So that's rarity and expensive. We're talking about a coin that has half the number of coins known. It is 140 years old, not 4 years old. And the story over time. NGC's been certifying coins for 35 years, and that's their number. It's just a fun time.
All right, everybody, but let's put that 1 minute clock up. Thank you for calling in. This one is one of those items that every time we bring it out and present it, it sells out that day. So I highly suggest the website as well. If you're on the phone, place that order, get through it, secure yours, but abccoins.com is just another way of shopping. If you're thinking about it and putting it in that cart, process at checkout, you can always call us back and add to your order. Under $149.95 for a coin that are only 4,776 known to exist as of today.
Think about this. This is the history of Morgan dollar special coins, and all of them are in the top 100 of all coins all time. First year of issue is the 1878 7/8 tail feather, right? First year special. Then it's this coin, the first mint mark overdate ever. Then there's the alligator eye, the 1887P. Then there is the hot lips, the 1888O, right? Or it just, because of when they found this, MASH was the popular coin show, so Hot Lips Houlihan kind of got the name for the lips, and that's where that one went. Then there's the 1900 O over CC, and that's it. So you have 5 big-time Morgan dollar varieties, all of them taking up a lot of conversation. And tonight we're bringing you the first overdate mint mark. And again, ours are certified to be real, not just somebody's word with a piece of whatever. I digress. I've been told it's time for us to be moving on. I guess I'm talking too much. Thanks for listening, however.